just not accurate. And if we're going to be people of truth, we at least have to be accurate. You at least have to speak the truth. It's just interesting that the person who posted this, that sent all you guys to my comment section that post spread, actually said almost verbatim the same exact thing in his book. Romans 2:20, God is the law. Kind of a interesting phrasing, you know? The inspiration for the line, Breaking Bad, I am the one who knocks. Sorry, not sorry. So there you go. Dallas just explained the inspiration for the line.
Ruslan.
When I first heard it, I said, oh, he's talking about being the fulfillment of the law. It's a paraphrasing. It's a different flip on it. It's creative license. That's how I saw it. But I will be honest that when John McCrae pulled the receipts from Todd's book, so let's read how Todd describes it, right? Because it's not my thought. I didn't say it, you know? When I think of music or art, I don't have a problem with people taking some degree of creative license. Now, obviously, that degree of creative license can't be heretical, right? So what does he say? He says, the laws of God are a perfect representation of his character and nature. God is the law. If Jesus is God and God is the law, then you can make the argument that Jesus is the law of Moses. Now, I didn't say that. I'm just saying I could see how that can be used in a creative sense. If one of the leading, Calvinistic scholars is saying this, I don't see why Dallas Jenkins can't say it or can't write it in a creative function. We were all entertained, but a new believer that hasn't finished reading their Bible can be misguided by this stuff. Well, would you keep that same pressure for the guy who wrote this book? Because I actually don't think that. I don't think someone's going to see The Chosen and be misguided in the same way I don't think somebody is going to read this in its entire context and be misguided. So I think we got to have just scales, do we not? So shout out to Dallas. He said, even leaving aside all of the theology of the law, the line is ultimately primarily a simple play on words. People don't understand this, though, unfortunately, Dallas. They don't understand hyperbole. They don't understand allegory. They don't understand literary devices, right? They don't understand this stuff. All they understand is being sticklers. If someone with ultimate authority confronts a person and the person says, I'm calling the police, and the authority says, I am the police, he's saying, I am your authority. I got it. I mean, I understood it, Dallas. I understood that. What is this obsession with going after The Chosen? Because you guys, because there's some Mormons, a part of the executive producer role, that have no creative control. I mean, it's just weird to me. Like, it's just a weird obsession to me. Friel himself didn't come after The Chosen, right? I don't think so. Yes, that's who posted it. Let's go back to the post. Who posted this? Wretched. Who's Todd? Wretched. That's his channel, right? Right. We all on the same page? The Jesus of The Chosen says he is the law of Moses. The Jesus of the Bible never says this. The false Jesus of the Book of Mormon, however, also says he is the law of Moses. We hate to say we told you so, but The Chosen is heavily influenced by the theology of the LDS Church. Refer back to our videos on the subject. I mean, he broke this. Yet in his own book, he says something almost verbatim that Jesus says. We would extend the grace to say, yeah, Todd's not influenced by the Book of Mormon. Why would you then, right? The inspiration for the line, Breaking Bad, I am the one who knocks. Sorry, not sorry. So there you go. Dallas just explained the inspiration for the line.
If you do not renounce your words, we will have no choice but to follow the law of Moses.
I am the law of Moses.
Stop trying to justify this whole thing and admit you're in danger.
Who are you talking to right now? You clearly don't know who you're talking to, so let me clue you in. I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger. A guy opens his door and gets shot, and you think that of me? No. I am the one who knocks.
I am the one who knocks. Sorry, not sorry. So there you go. Dallas just explained the inspiration for the line. Right? Somebody said Todd wrong or something. Most nuanced concepts are lost on the general audience these days. Absolutely. Who runs Wretched Channel? Todd! Gosh! Holy smokes, are you trolling me right now? The guy on Wretched runs this channel. This is his platform. His platform. If you don't understand it, then fine. Again, no one's forcing anyone to support The Chosen. But this is the difference between scripture and theology and art. Some of you guys want all your art to be directly scripture and theology. I'm not mad at you, but that's just not what The Chosen is. That's not what most Christian YouTubers do. That's not what most Christian music is, right? No, Todd's not going to apologize publicly. I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. He posted this. John McCrae went and found the receipts to find that he said something almost verbatim, that it's not in the Book of Mormon, that phrase, this is what the actual Book of Mormon says, that it's not from the Book of Mormon. Behold, I am the law and the light. Look unto me and endure till the end, and ye shall live. For unto him that endureth till the end, I will give eternal life. Okay, so that's what it actually says. It never says, I am the law of Moses. But if we're going to look at those two statements, Todd's book is much more accurate to that. And again, I'm not hating on Todd. I like Todd. I like some of his content. I think he makes some cool content. I'm not mad at him because he's a Calvinist or whatever. I got a lot of Calvinist friends, right? He did not write the laws as a moral code that he himself must keep. The laws of God are a perfect representation of his character and nature. Romans 2:20, God is the law. It's kind of a interesting phrasing, you know? So there you go. I'm wondering if this is some kind of under the table post from whoever runs Todd's channel. Okay, then he should apologize. If he right, then he should apologize. I think that's him personally, but maybe it's not. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's somebody else. But that's his channel. That's his platform. That's his logo. That they're called the same thing. They came from the same source. Just so we're all on the same page. I think that this is something deeper. I think this is a lack of charity. I think this is a lack of love in the Christian community. And I think this is an obsession with anything that becomes successful to want to knock it down a notch and say, see, it's fill in the blank. There's right? Instead of just saying, hey man, like, look, maybe it's not for you. Maybe you don't like the music. Maybe it's too emotional. Whatever the issue is. Respect. But to then go after it and do we told you so. We didn't need to tell you so. We told you so. It's just, I don't know, man. And again, I'm only speaking on this because I think this is indicative of the broader Christian culture around these sorts of things, right? It's a bigger issue that we see all the time. And as someone that identifies as a follower of Jesus and also wants to build bridges and not walls, it's frustrating. Jesus is the law of Moses. I am not a Mormon. Just regular. It's a semantics game. It's a semantics game. I don't care what you think. Like whatever. It's art. Like, and I'm not saying art should have bad theology. I'm just saying art isn't primarily driven by theology first. But it has been fun to learn new things about myself. I thought I'd never read the Book of Mormon, but I'm learning from strangers that I'm excitedly influenced by it. Okay, guys, that's Dallas. Careful, man. You know that the people love to take your out of context. This is Dallas being facetious. This is him being tongue-in-cheek. He's not being literal, right? Anyway, the relationship with the LDS is being questioned as relating to them as brothers and sisters. I think that's the issue. Keep doing. Yeah, and you know, Dallas came on here. Clarified. He's went on Melissa Daughtery's channel, clarified. I'm not sure how many times he has to clarify exactly what his position is, but I feel like he's done a good job of pressing into hard, uncomfortable conversations repeatedly and clarifying, right? And so there's a difference between saying, hey, there's some Mormon friends I have that are a part of the executive producer team because they own Angel Studios, right? Which, by the way, they don't fund it. It's crowdfunded. I'm sure folks don't quite understand how that works either, right? There's a difference between that and saying the LDS church is producing the chosen or the LDS church is inspiring the chosen. Him saying, hey, I got some friends that are Mormons and I think they're good and I think they're trying to, figure out and discover their path to God and, we have interesting conversation. I think that's totally different than saying the Mormon church or the LDS church is running the creative, theological narrative on the chosen. Those are two very different ideas. But which one do people lead with? Which one do people lead with? Oh, the Mormons, the chosen's corrupt because it influenced by Mormons. That's just not accurate. It's just not accurate. And if we're going to be people of truth, we at least have to be accurate. You at least have to speak the truth, right? Speak the truth to lies, right? And so that becomes my frustration with the Christian community and a lot of this whole online space is there's always a desire to, I got you. And it's fine. Hey, by the way, it's okay. It's okay. I expect that from the world. I don't expect that from Christians. Here's an example of how this stuff happens in the world, okay? So I premiered a video earlier today, and there's a creator that I debated publicly named Rollo Tomasi. He's a part of the Red Pill. He identifies as the Godfather. I read 2 of his books. I debated him publicly on the Sauce podcast. He was in the chat, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Rollo's watching a thing about the Red Pill on our second channel. I didn't even know he was up on my second channel, right? And in the podcast, we agreed that we were going to do a part 2. I told him I'd fly him out. I'm still trying to fly him out to California to have a conversation about all this like men's rights, Red Pill stuff. Sorry if you guys don't know what this is, but whatever. Anyway, I did a video on it. You guys can go check it out. I'll try to link it if I remember. So Rollo is in the chat, and he's going back and forth. And in the chat, I said, hey, man, are you still down to do part 2 of the podcast? Now, what happened after the debate is that he went and made a video and said that because he said I had on 2 Apple Watches, which if you know me, I have on an Apple Watch and a Whoop. And he said I was cheating and I was getting secret information during the debate, apparently because he thought I'd performed well on the debate. Okay, whatever. I think I did okay. I think I could have done better. No, I was wearing 2 different watches and Zach was feeding me secret information, yada, yada, yada. And so we ended up roasting Rollo and we created this little drop.
You guys think I'm stupid. I'm not stupid, guys. I know this.
So that's Rollo telling me and Zach that I was cheating in the debate because I have on 2 Apple Watches. Again, I got an Apple Watch, I got a Whoop. Okay. So in the discussion of the chat, he tells me, hey, aren't you the guy that co-signed Andrew Tate being a Christian? And I was like, no, I don't think I ever co-signed Andrew Tate being a Christian. He said, yeah, you did. Do you want me to pull it up? And I'm like, what? And I said, if I did, I was wrong and I misspoke. I have no problem with saying I'm wrong. But then I went and looked up the clip that he was referencing, and I never said Andrew Tate was a Christian, right? So I said, I don't know if it's genuine or not, but this is what he's professing. And I could play the clip. Matter of fact, let's play the clip.
And it said that Simeon blessed God.